6 months ago, I was frustrated, my hormones were completely out of whack, and I was struggling to lose the weight that seemed glued to my body. But today, y'all, I'm about to blow your mind with what happened after I stuck with intermittent fasting for over 6 months now.
Drnina, the girl next door, beautiful brown baby doll.
So what is up, beautiful people? It's your girl, Dr. Nina, your mind, body, and transformation specialist. Self-appointed, of course. And honey, if you watched my 30-day intermittent fasting video, you know I've seen some incredible results. But what happened over the next following months, that's where the real magic happened. I'm talking about the hormone changes I didn't expect. Body composition shifts that shocked me, and mental clarity that has me feeling like I found the fountain of youth at the age of 41. And if you're wondering whether or not intermittent fasting is worth sticking to for the long term, this video right here gonna answer everything. And you heard her, I'm from St. Louis. For all my little new friends that are new here, I'm a licensed psychologist that's been through 2 major weight loss transformations. My original over 100-pound weight loss happened in my 20s, and now this postpartum journey where I've lost right at 40 pounds, it's completely transformed my relationship with my body and my hormones. And listen, I don't just talk about this stuff, I live it, I study it, and I approach it from both scientific and personal perspective. When I started this new intermittent fasting journey, I documented everything because I wanted to give y'all the real and unfiltered truth about what happens when you commit to this lifestyle long term. Now, before we dive in, this is not medical advice. I worked with my own doctors throughout this journey and even a nutritionist. And you should absolutely consult your own doctor and team before making any changes to your life and your eating patterns. Just to check in. What I'm sharing today is what my experience has been and what science tells us. And while we're talking about resources, baby, I got a brand new website by Cheers Creative. You got to check it out. It has access to my gifts to you, as well as access to my Now That's Life podcast, which you can find on Spotify, Apple, and anywhere you love your favorite podcasts. Also, check out my LTK for my favorite health essentials. And join me on my other platforms for some daily and weekly motivation. But y'all, if you stick with me until the end, I'm going to share the one thing that in month 4 convinced me that this just wasn't a dieting lifestyle. It's the lifestyle that literally changed my biology. So go ahead and drop me some comments down below and let me know what your struggles are and if you're willing to try intermittent fasting. And also let me know what more you would like for me to bring for you on this channel. Let's go. So let's go down the rabbit hole of the month-by-month breakdown. I've been engaged in the 16-8 intermittent fasting schedule and eating between the hours of about 12:30 to 8:30. And my focus was very high protein. And y'all, those first 30 days, rough, but incredible. I lost a lot of pounds, 12 to 15, I think. My skin started really glowing. My 3 p.m. energy crashes disappeared. And that mental fog, where I can't remember nothing for nothing, it lifted. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. In the beginning, I was really relearning portion control. I mean, let's be honest, I had been pregnant and then breastfeeding for nearly 11 months. What I realized is that just because you're fasting doesn't mean you can eat for the whole 8 hours during your eating window. I used the Lose It app again to track my eating. And baby, in the beginning, I was shocked, especially at how much I was actually eating. That app has been a wake-up call for getting my portion sizes right, while also engaging in a new lifestyle so everything wouldn't be overwhelming. Click like or say amen if you can understand being overwhelming when you start a new lifestyle change. But that was just the beginning. Month 2 is when things got interesting from a hormone perspective. Around week 6, something happened that I hadn't noticed in years. My PMS symptoms were dramatically different. Now, come on, y'all. Like, coming off of having a child, when I got my period back, things were a little odd, okay, and very strong. I used to get moody, bloated, and crave everything in sight the week before my period. But in month 2, my period became so much smoother, like seriously. I learned that intermittent fasting can help to regulate insulin, which directly impacts your sex hormones. But when your insulin is stable, your whole hormonal symphony starts playing a tune. And the weight loss, more pounds were coming off. I want to say around 10. But more importantly, my body composition was changing. I was losing fat while maintaining muscle. And I'm not just making this up, y'all. I use the Hume scale, so I actually get body scans done. This is crucial for women our age. Now, speaking of maintaining muscle and eating the right foods, especially during that eating window, this portion of today's video is sponsored by Hungry Root. And y'all, this partnership makes so much sense when it comes to my intermittent fasting journey. Let me tell y'all the problem that Hungry Root solved for me. Y'all know I live in the busy season all year round. Never a dull moment between practicing, teaching, creating content, and being a mama, and everything else. And when you're doing intermittent fasting, what you eat during that eating window is crucial. I was spending a bit of mental energy on grocery shopping and meal planning. And at times I broke my fast with whatever was convenient instead of what was nutritious. Hungry Root takes that stress out of mealtime by filling your cart with personalized picks and planning your week of meals. And it gets smarter with every order. They have over 15,000 recipes to choose from each week. Many ready in just 15 minutes or less. Plus, they have a wide grocery selection, including smoothies, ready-to-eat meals, salad kits, and even supplements. I love the salad kits, y'all. What I love is that Hungry Root helps you to eat well and reach your health goals, whether you're high protein like me, gluten-free, dairy-free, focused on your gut health, or anything else. You just take the quick quiz, and their smart cart technology recommends groceries, recipes, and even supplements that are tailored to your taste and needs. It's literally like having a personal shopper and a chef all in one. So I can spend less time planning and more time doing what I love and spending time with the people I love, like being present with my family during my eating window, instead of stressing out about what to eat and what to cook. And y'all know I'm picky about quality. Hungry Root holds all of their foods to high standards. They screen out over 200 additives, including high fructose corn syrup and artificial sweeteners. They source only high quality meat and seafood with no hormones or no antibiotics, offer organic produce and non-GMO options. They carry trusted healthy brands like Oatly, Vital Farms, and so many more. Plus, they help you to save by reducing food waste, avoiding those impulse grocery buys, you know what I'm talking about, and skipping the last-minute restaurant takeout. And their best price program, it ensures that you get great value in over 100 popular products. Now take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Click the link below or go to hungryroot.com and use code drnina. That's 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life at hungryroot.com with code drnina. Month 3, y'all, that's when I became a believer for life. My energy levels weren't just stable. They were even better than they were in my 30s. Ooh. I'm talking about waking up refreshed without an alarm, having sustained energy all day without caffeine crashes, and actually having energy left and sustained for my workouts. You can even see it in my workout data. But the science behind this is fascinating. When you're in a fasted state regularly, your body becomes incredibly efficient at using fat for fuel instead of constantly relying on glucose. And honey, my workouts, they are stronger, and I watched them get stronger. Now, after I had little Hunter, I noticed that I had weakened a bit, even though I worked out all through my pregnancy, right up until month 10, okay? But I was lifting heavier, I was recovering faster, and building lean muscle like I was in my 20s again. This is because intermittent fasting, when done correctly, naturally boosts growth hormone production, that youth hormone that starts declining after 30. Let's dip right on into the pool of month 4. I call that the game-changing month. This is the month where everything clicked. I got more comprehensive blood work done, and the results had me doing a double take, and I was excited. Yeah, some things are still coming back to normal, but my insulin levels, inflammatory markers, thyroid function, and metabolic markers, these are all things that we've been tracking to see what's actually going on inside of the body, not just guessing. And across the board, improvements really made me feel good. Seeing these numbers gave me incredible confidence about aging. I ain't worried about aging. I just want to do it well. I'm not just maintaining my health. My goal is to actively improve it, even at 41. I feel like I'm setting myself up for decades of vitality instead of just accepting decline. Because baby, we just getting started. That mindset shift, it's everything. And I know that this is something that's also going to rub off on my little one. I remember when I was young, my mother was an older mother as well, but she was always vivacious, beautiful, and don't tell her I know this, but she was well chased after, baby. Beautiful woman. And so I've always imagined that as I got older, I would get better. And that's what I'm on the road to doing, if God says the same. Month 5 and 6 were my lifestyle lock-in. These were the months where I realized I was fine-tuning, and this wasn't just something I was doing anymore. It was just how I lived. The weight loss slowed down, which was perfect because I knew exactly where I was headed and where I wanted to be. But the benefits, those kept stacking up, y'all. So what I'm noticing is that even when I can't get ample amounts of sleep, it's better rest, clearer skin, stable moods, and a sense of control over my health that I've never experienced before. And what I mean by better skin too, because y'all know I'm a skin girly, I also find that the product benefits that I'm supposed to get from the things that I use, like my masks or even my serums or things like that, which I don't use a whole lot. I'm just noticing that they do the things that they should. And I think it's because my body is primed to accept what's necessary. And though the total weight loss was coming in closer to 40 pounds, the real transformation was happening internally. So So let's talk a little bit about unexpected benefits, okay? As a psychologist and professor, I live by mental sharpness. Y'all talk about the way I teach here. Y'all are actually my first students. Let's be real here. YouTube has made me sharper than ever with instant feedback. And in order to carry that through, even in the classroom, I have to have the clarity. And what happened to my cognitive functions over these 6 months has been nothing short of miraculous. I'm talking about the laser focus during lectures, creative breakthroughs in my research, and the ability to feel fully present with my family, even in low times, instead of feeling scattered and all over the place all the time. Click like if you can relate to that feeling. But the science explains this, y'all. Intermittent fasting increases something called BDNF. That's the brain-derived neurotropic factor, which is like fertilizer for your brain cells. Look how excited I get when I talk about it. I went from struggling with afternoon fog to being able to focus in my meetings and writing for hours in a flow state. From forgetting where I put my keys, which still happens sometimes, to having the mental energy to learn new skills. This cognitive enhancement alone, it made every challenging moment worth it. I'm starting to feel like the most powerful change again was psychological, just like in my 100-pound weight loss. My relationship with food completely transformed. I went from thinking about food constantly, and if you've ever been a breastfeeding mother, you understand that piece. From planning my next meal while eating my current one, to having this peaceful, intuitive relationship with eating. Food became fuel and pleasure, not anxiety and obsession. It wasn't something for me to be only happy about that or something to feel embarrassed about. I could go into social events without stress, sometimes. Travel without meal panic, and actually enjoy eating because I wasn't fighting my biology anymore. The psychological freedom is what makes intermittent fasting sustainable long term. It's not about restriction, y'all. It's about alignment with your body's natural rhythm, and that's why I love it. I'm not living by a specific diet. Yes, I might choose to be a little bit lower in carb, higher in protein, complex carbohydrates. Yes, but this has become a part of me. It's not something I have to always calculate or think about. So natural rhythms for the win. And can we talk a little bit more about hormonal benefits? My sleep cycle regulated, my stress response improved, and even my skin texture, baby, is looking good. Y'all have even told me in videos. But when your insulin is stable, it cascades into better hormonal health across the board. My hormone panels look very good. And that's the power in working with your body's natural processes instead of against them. But I'm gonna be honest, it ain't all been smooth sailing, okay? We done danced through the lilies. Now, come on back down to earth. The biggest challenge sometimes can be social situations and expectations of family. In month 2, I actually attended a brunch. It was at 10 a.m. and I knew it was during my fasting window. But I had 2 choices: break my fast or feel awkward. I chose to break my fast and enjoy my family time. And I went right back to my routine the next day. The key is flexibility without abandonment, because y'all know some of us will say, oh, I messed up today, might as well throw the whole week in the trash. Better yet, the whole year. I've told y'all this before, but I learned that consistency matters more than perfection. 80% adherence with joy, that beats 100% of adherence with misery every single time. And that's the real 80-20 rule. Now, another thing was in month 3, my weight loss stalled or plateaued for a while. It was a good 3 weeks. Y'all, I was frustrated. Do you hear me? But then I remembered that this isn't just about the scale. It's about overall health transformation. During that plateau, I lost inches and I gained muscle. I also improved my blood markers, and I was feeling real good. Sometimes your body needs time to adjust and redistribute. And this is something my trainer on Future always reminds me. Hope is amazing. You want to trust the process and not just the scale. In week 4 of that month, the scale started moving again. And I was actually enjoying myself, having sushi and everything, baby. I was living. Movie popcorn and everything. But more importantly, I started to realize that I was measuring success by the wrong metrics. Energy, mood, health, stress markers. Those were the real MVPs, the real victories. And let me get a little nerdy for a second, because the science behind what was happening to my body, now that's real fun. During extended fasting periods, your body activates autophagy, literally self-eating, where your damaged cells get cleaned up and regenerated, for lack of better words. Now, this is why my skin improved, my energy increased, and my overall vitality skyrocketed. I was literally feeling like I was becoming healthier at the cellular level. At 41, I'm not just maintaining my health. I'm potentially expanding my health span. That's the number of years I can expect to live in good health. But the real game changer, y'all, developing metabolic flexibility, my ability to efficiently switch between using glucose and fat for fuel. Most people are sugar burners, constantly needing the next meal for their energy. But after 6 months of intermittent fasting, I became a fat burner, able to go for hours and feel energized even without food. The metabolic flexibility is what gives me energy all day. Effortless weight maintenance and freedom from food anxiety. It's like upgrading your body's energy from gas guzzler to hybrid. Y'all always ask me about what I actually eat, and I plan to make another video that extends on this. I'm still doing 16-8 most days, meaning 16 hours of fasting. Most of that I'm sleeping and 8 hours of an eating window, usually between 12:30 and 8:30. But I've learned to be flexible based on my life. I try to break fast with proteins, usually a smoothie with protein powder, spinach, berries, and healthy fats, like a nut butter. And sometimes I even break it with like a coffee with protein in it. I'm loving the Oikos Pro ones that I switched over to after y'all told me about the Premier Protein. It made me sad. But the Oikos ones are great. They have 30 grams of protein and no artificial sweeteners. And they're not hard on my belly. Lunch is often larger. I'm going to have mixed vegetables with baked chicken or a wrap of some sort. And I love some good fish, salmon for the win. And usually dinner is protein, some healthy carbs, and a whole heap of vegetables. Now let's talk a bit more about portion control. Because y'all, I used to think that I needed to weigh and measure almost everything, and I did at first, and I still use my food skills to this day. But I've also learned to use my hand. Your palm is your protein portion, your fist for your vegetables, and your cupped hand for your carbs, and your thumb helps for determining your healthy fats. No measuring cups needed. You can always use your hand or other items that are similar in size when you're out at a restaurant or somewhere else. I focus on the whole foods. I'm aiming for about 130 to 150 grams of total protein per day. And yes, I still enjoy my treats. The difference is I'm not constantly grazing or thinking about food, and it's natural for me to go somewhere like to have sushi or things like that. I've told y'all before, and ask for light rice or no rice on some of my rolls, because then I get pure protein and I still get the taste that I enjoy. So when I eat well and I'm satisfied for hours. If I don't, I'm not satisfied and I'm more likely to crash out. So this is what made this sustainable for so long, even during my first weight loss. Flexibility over rigidity. Life happens, adjust and get back on track. Stop giving up every time you have an offset. 2, focus on how you feel and not just the scale. Energy and mood are better metrics. 3, prepare for social situations. Have a plan, but don't worry if you do have to deviate. And sometimes I sneak and have some protein before I go to a social situation, so I'm less likely to overeat. Stay hydrated in every way in your life, okay? Water, herbal tea, black coffee, all of that I have during fasting hours. And listen to your body. Some days you're gonna need more food and some days you're gonna need less. Some days you're gonna treat yourself and some days you're not. It's all good. The goal again isn't perfection adherence. It's about creating a sustainable lifestyle that enhances rather than restricts your life. Now let's talk numbers, because I know y'all want the tea. Y'all nosy just like me. Weight loss, 40 pounds total. Body fat percentage has dropped about 7%. Muscle mass has maintained and even gained in some areas. You can even see it in my pictures. Waist circumference, I've lost about 5 inches. Snatched. Energy levels are usually constantly high without the crashes. And sleep quality, 90% improvement with deep sleep tracking. And the lab results is where the real magic shows. Fasting insulin dropped to the optimal range. Inflammatory markers, lower. And thyroid function, improved across all markers. And remember, I'm a 41-year-old woman that just gave birth at 40 years old. So if I can do it, you can too. But beyond the numbers, my quality of life transformation has been profound. I wake up more refreshed. I have sustained energy for my demanding career. I can keep up with my little baby girl. And I feel much more confident in my own skin. Okay, get your shoulders shouted. I'm not just lighter, I'm healthier. I'm happier and I'm more vibrant than I've been in years. And at 41, I feel like I've unlocked the secret to aging gracefully, not just on the outside. This isn't just about looking younger. It's about feeling powerful, energetic, and in control of my health destiny. So the big question, is this right for you? Is it right for everyone? Absolutely not. And I need y'all to hear this clearly. Don't try this if you have a history of eating disorders, are pregnant or breastfeeding, have certain medical conditions, are taking medications that have food requirements. And you need to be checking with your doctor and work with them closely, especially if you have health conditions and are interested in intermittent fasting. This is about enhancing your health, not risking it. But if you're interested and cleared by your healthcare provider, The research that I'm presenting here has really been helpful for me on my journey, so it's worth a shot and it's also worth doing your own research. So what's next for me is this has become my lifestyle, y'all. I'm not doing intermittent fasting anymore. I'm living in alignment with my body's natural rhythms. I'm continuing to track my health markers, being flexible with my approach, and honestly, I'm excited to see what year 2 brings. The research suggests that the benefits compound over time. And I know this because my first 100-pound weight loss really showed me that. And I'll keep sharing this journey with y'all because representation matters. We need to see women over 40, especially melanated women like myself, thriving and showing that it's never too late to transform your health. So if you're on the journey about intermittent fasting, I hope that my little journey has given you some insight. It ain't for everybody. It's not about quick fixes or dramatic restrictions. It's about sustainable life changes that honor your body's wisdom. You gotta trust it. And trust yourself. Drop a comment and let me know if you're interested in committing to 6 months of intermittent fasting. And if you think you can do this, what's holding you back? I read every single comment, so I'd love to hear from you. And if this journey has helped you to understand something even more and understand intermittent fasting and just some other things about yourself, make sure that you like, comment, share, and make sure you get this to somebody else who can really use it. Remember, you ain't just getting older, baby, you getting better. Let's transform this thing together. Dr. Nina signing out. Peace.